Hello and welcome to this video on the Kotlin for loop. Again, we have our Kotlin project over here, 5a conditionals with our loops package, and we can see here our for loop.kt Kotlin class file. We see our package is loops and we have our main method. In Kotlin, the for loop is very similar to the for each loop. So there is typically some kind of a range or possibly an array, and the for loop will iterate through the range or the elements of the array. So if we take a look here, we can see that we initialize the value here as an integer, and we can see the range it's initialized to. So we're declaring value as an integer. We initialize it to the low end of the range, and then we are printing each value or each member of this range. So you can see here the output. Then we are just outputting a header here for formatting purposes. Now we're declaring a prime numbers array of integers. So you can see here our array of integers. And now we are coming in here, and number is going to be our integer, and what it's going to do is for all of the members of the prime numbers array, it is going to iterate through, and each member will be the number. So the number pointer or iterator is going to look at each member and temporarily assign it to number, and then it is going to print out number on each iteration. So we'll actually see the elements of the array get printed out. Similar again, we can see that our array again is here, our integer array of prime numbers. Although this time in our for loop, we have index, we're declaring index in prime numbers, and we're using the indices. So we are going to this time iterate through the indices, and we have some control of the indices here. And now we're formatting again, and in this case we have we retrieve an array, index, and element in each iteration using a with index. So here you can see we are validating the index, and we're also validating number, so that's going to assign the members of the array temporarily to number. And with the particular index, we are going to output the index and the index of the array. And don't forget, arrays are zero indexed. So the first number here, which is 2, is going to be the 0th member, and the second element is going to be the first member, and the second, and so on. So we'll see here the output. But the label prime is going to have the index and the actual value of the element in the array. So if we go ahead and run this, so we'll go over here, we'll select our Kotlin class file in the project, right click, and go down to run. And it'll compile, and we'll see the output, the initial output. We can see here that we had the range, and what we did is we iterated through the range. So we did almost a for each, and each element in the range was temporarily assigned to value. So we can see here we went 1 to 10, and we use print there. Then we have prime numbers right here with the colon, and we are iterating through the array prime numbers. So we initialized number, and then we iterated through prime numbers, temporarily assigning number to each element. And then we can see here the 2, the 3, first time number was 2, second time number was 3, third time number was 4, and so on. And then we moved on here to the indices. It didn't add a return line here, but we can see here that we are using this prime number, and we are using the indices. So we're able to capture our index here, and then output that with our value. So we can see the prime numbers and their index and value. And then finally, we can also use with index here. And we have a space, we're getting our space formatting right there. And similar output with the with index. It's just a different way to do it. We can see the with index and the number there. So in this case, we're outputting the value with by passing in the index. This time we're taking number and we're temporarily assigning number to the indexes of the array. So thank you for watching this video on Kotlin for loops. Again, they're very, very similar to for each loops. So if you understand for each loops, you won't have a problem at all with the Kotlin for loops. And everybody stay tuned for more videos.